Welcome to Committee and Field. Today is Monday, September the 18th, and the Holliston Lady Panthers are playing at home against the Hopkinton Hilliers. And I am Lynda Getchell, and we have Mark Winokur on film today. This is the Holliston Cable Access Television recording of the game. So the girls have been playing some really great soccer these past couple of games, and so we're looking forward to another exciting and exhilarating game. So Hopkinton have won the toss, and they will be starting the game off with the kick. So Hopkinton with possession. Holliston giving them some pressure. Still possession by them. Back to Charlotte Getchell, and Hopkins still have possession. Kicking up and forward to Elizabeth Mackey. Sending it back to Sydney Brucado. Sending it up, intercepted by Hopkinton. They have stepped it up, headed by Maddie Sahajian in the middle. Tess Powers fighting for it. Still Hopkinton. Back to Sarah Winokur. Taking a space, sending it up. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Tess Powers. Going wide to Alex Panaggio. Still fighting with it. She still has possession. Looking to make it a pass, switching the field. This could be an opportunity. Jill Hobson getting her foot to it. There it is. There's the first goal. Awesome job by the ladies. It's a great start to the game. Holliston seeing the opportunity, still chasing the ball, and got round past the goalie and popped it in the back of the net. So less than a minute and a half, and the score is now 1-0 to Holliston. So Hopkinton with the possession. Tapped by Sydney Brucado. Kept in bounds. Unlucky. So it's a throw in for Hopkinton. Touched by Tess. Back out to Alex Panaggio. Switching the field over to Sarah Winokur. Tapped up by Hopkinton. Back to Kaylee Powers. Trying to set it up. Back to the Hopkins defender. Back to Tess Powers. Hopkins getting their foot to it. They're trying to push it up to our end. Emily Clapper defending. And it's out of bounds. That will be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with a throw-in. To Tess Powers. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Switching the field. Over Sydney Brucado trying to fight for it. Hopkinton with the possession. Back to Maddie Sahajian, and that will be out of bounds, and it will be a Hopkinton throw-in. Alfonso Ramirez is now joining us in the recording today. Mel asking for it. Mel, good read. That's the first attempt by Hopkinton in our goal area. So goal kick by Mel Coleman. Up in the air. Kaylee Powers getting her foot to it. Back to Emily Clapper. Out wide to Sarah Winokur. Unlucky. Nutmeg. Hopkinton throw in. Out of bounds by... no. Went off of a Holliston player, so that'd be a Hopkinton throw in. Out of bounds by Hopkinton, so it'll be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. To Jill Hobson, to Sarah Winokur. Switching the field to the middle to Alex Panaggio. Keeping possession, passing it up to Jill Hobson. Out to Tess, intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Maddie Sahajian, to Charlotte Getchell. And out of bounds by Holliston. So that will be a Hopkinton throw. Oh, no, Holliston throwing still. Back to Alex Panaggio. Taking some space, sending it up. Here comes Sydney Brucado. One-on-one with the goalie. Oh! Hopkinton with the possession. That was a great run there by Holliston. Up in the air by Maddie, headed by Charlotte Getchell. Back to Maddie Sehe. Oh.
That was a perfect pass by Alex.
Hopkinton throw-in. Hopkinton still with the possession. Up in the air. Back to Charlotte Getchell. To Kaylee Powers. Back to Maddie Sehe. Sending it up. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Challenged by Jill Hobson and out of bounds. So it will be a Holliston throw-in. Charlotte Getchell with the throw-in. Hopkinton in possession. Back to Maddie Sehe. To Tess Powers. Back to Hopkinton. Emily Clapper getting a foot to it. Back to Tess Powers. To Kaylee Powers. Sending it up. Oh, unlucky. Back to Tess again. Kaylee trying to intercept it. Hopkinton still have possession. Out of bounds. So it'll be a Holliston throw-in. Charlotte Getchell with a throw-in. To Sydney Brucado. Back to Charlotte Getchell. To Kaylee Powers. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Emily Clapper getting a foot to it. Sarah Winokur charging. Almost got it. Back to Emily Clapper. Sending it up. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Pressuring us. Elizabeth Mackey. Getting it. Taking a space. Out to Sarah Winokur. Nice passing. Over to Alex Panaggio in the center. She's still got it. To Tess Powers. Sending it up to Sarah Winokur. Out of bounds by Hopkinton. That'll be a Holliston throw-in. Sarah Winokur with a throw-in to Tess Powers. Hopkinton have taken possession. Elizabeth Mackey coming to defend it. Oh. And it will be out of bounds, and it will be a goal kick.
I like how Panther is playing. I think they're passing the ball, they are dominated the game, and I think the score is saying how they are playing.
Yeah, again, I think that the last couple of games we've seen the girls really starting to make some great feet-to-feet passes and getting it on the ground, and we're seeing that same play again here today. We've already got one goal in the net, so the girls are doing a great job. So Sarah Winokur to Jill Hobson. Intercepted by Hopkinton. They're switching the field, being challenged. Taking a long ball, taking it down to the corner. Maddie Sehe protecting. And it will be a goal kick for Holliston, taken by Maddie Sehajian. To Kaylee Powers. Back to Charlotte Getchell. To Alex Panaggio. Making a switch in the middle to Jill Hobson. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Taking it wide to Sarah Winokur. Back to Tess Powers. Sending it over. Headed by Hopkinton. Sydney Brucado chasing it down. Kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton, so it'll be a Holliston throw-in.
I love how Panthers passing the ball. You can see the difference, how they make the passes, how they see each other, and that make the Hopkinton team a little crazy, and that's as good for us.
Yeah, the girls have got their heads up. They're looking for each other. They're finding each other. So Charlotte Getchell to Jill Hobson. Still has possession. Oh, sorry, Hannah Wolfgang. Still fighting for it. Hopkinton have taken it. Sarah Winokur coming in. Getting a foot to it. Jill Hobson coming up for it. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. And kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton, so it'll be a Holliston throw-in. Good deflection there from Mackey off of the player. So throw-in was by Emily. Back to Sarah. To Jill Hobson. Setting it into the middle to Hannah Wolfgang. Nice passing again by Holliston here. Taking a space. Looking to make a switch in the middle. Back to Hopkinton. And it's going to be out of bounds, so it will be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper taking the throw-in. To Tess Powers. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Up in the air. Hannah Wolfgang headering it. Back to Hopkinton. Maddie Sehay sending it up and over the back line. And they're protecting it, and it will be a Hopkinton throw-in.
And we have to recognize that Hopkinton has a few good players. They are club players.
So kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton, so it'll be another Holliston throw-in taken by Emily Clapper. Emily to Hannah Wolfgang. Oh, intercepted by Hopkinton. They read that well. Back to Maddie Sehay. To Charlotte Getchell. Setting it up. Deflected off of a Hopkinton player. Hopkinton have possession. Running it down to the corner. Elizabeth Mackey coming on. Good protection by Elizabeth Mackey. And that will be a Holliston. So we have a substitution. Jill Hobson is coming off, and Gabby Ramirez is coming on. So into the mid to Tess Powers, deflected off of a Hopkinton player, but Sarah Winokur has taken control, taking it up the wing. Dodging past some players, sending it out to Gabby Ramirez in the center. Oh, deflected off of Hopkinton. They've taken possession. Popped over, back to Maddie Sehay. Sending it back to the goalkeeper. Kicking it out to Charlotte Getchell. And that went out of bounds, so it will be a Hopkinton throw-in. So Hopkinton with the possession. Tess Powers coming in, up in the air. Gabby Ramirez taking it, sending it to Hannah Wolfgang. Taking space on the field, setting it up. Sydney Bricada running at it. Good job. Keep it in, keep it in. Oh, unlucky. Oh. Nice work, nice hustle.
That was a good run, a good run. And again, they are playing good. They are passing the ball, they are connecting in. And it's something that I like to see Panthers playing that way.
So goal kick for Hopkinton. Up in the air, back to Maddie Sehay. Switching the field to Emily Clapper. Taking time, setting it up. Hopkinton defense taking it. Gabby coming through. Headed by, got touched by Sarah Winokur. And off of the Hopkinton player, so it'll be a throw-in by Emily Clapper to Tess Powers. And it'll be another Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. Headed by Hopkinton out of bounds, so another throw-in for Holliston. So Emily with the throw-in. To Tess Powers, back to Emily. Off the back of a Hopkinton player, so another throw-in. To the mid, to Hannah Wolfgang. Looking to switch the field. Charlotte Getchell running onto it. Keeping control. Holliston still fighting for it. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Up in the air. Oh, header, and nice and easy for the goalie. Good read by Mel Coleman. Not too much pressure. Goal kick by Melanie to Hannah Wolfgang. Out to Hopkinton, trying to take it down the line. And that will be a corner kick awarded to Hopkinton. So we're at 26 minutes left in the first half, and the score is 1-0 to the Holliston Lady Panthers.
So far, I see a good game by the Panthers, protecting the ball and making the passes, and that make a big difference.
So corner kick Hopkinton. Out by Maddie Sehe, up in the air. Sarah Winokur fighting for it. Gabby Ramirez getting it. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Hannah Wolfgang coming in. Tess Powers coming in. Still Hopkinton popping it up. And nice and easy to the goalkeeper. So this will be a kick by Mel Coleman for Holliston. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Mackey still taking the space. Oh, a bit too harsh. Nice try, right idea. So Holliston throw him to Sarah Winokur to Tess Powers. Hopkinton have taken possession. Back to Hannah Wolfgang. Tapped by Hopkinton. They've now got possession again. Elizabeth Mackey coming to it. Still has it, sending it wide to Charlotte Getchell. Ugh, unlucky. Hopkinton have intercepted it. Pushing down the line. Elizabeth Mackey getting to it. Ooh. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Good job. Be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper to Sarah Winokur. That was unlucky. Will be a Hopkinton throw-in. Hopkinton with the throw-in. Out of bounds, so it'll be another throw-in for Hopkinton. Putting pressure on us now. Hopkinton throw-in. We lucked out there. So Hopkinton putting a bit of pressure on us there. And again now, Maddie Sahasian with the goal kick. Headed by Hopkinton. Out of bounds, and it would be a Holliston throw-in. Charlotte Getchell with a throw-in to Alex Panaggio. Still has possession. Weaving through. Passing to Tess Powers. Switching the field to Sarah Winokur. Passing up to Gabby Ramirez. Back to Tess Powers. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Hopkinton taking the lead. Maddie Sehe getting a foot to it. Charlotte Getchell taking it on the wing. Passing up to Sydney Brucado. Hannah Wolfgang getting into it. Sydney Brucado up in the air. Charlotte Getchell. Hopkinton getting to it. Long ball. Emily Clapper protecting it. And kicked out by Hopkinton. That will be a Holliston throw-in. Again, another deflection off the player. Oop. We're having a substitution. Hannah Wolfgang is coming off and Anna Siegel is coming on. So Emily Clapper with the throw-in to Tess Powers. Deflected off of Anna Siegel, back to Sarah Winokur, sending it to the middle. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Emily Clapper, taking a space. Nice footwork, unlucky. Back to Elizabeth Mackey, to Tess Powers. Back to Clapper. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Hopkinton now putting pressure towards our goal. Elizabeth Mackey getting to it. Good protection. Looking to pass it, switching the field. Oh, intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Maddie Sehe.
We are making the passes with the head down.
So goal kick with Mel Coleman. To Gabby Ramirez. To Alex Panaggio. To Gabby. Back to Tess. Intercepted by Hopkinton. And nice and easy for Mel Coleman. Good read. They are getting into our half, but not really pressuring us as far as the shots on goal right now. Sarah Winokur to Anna Siegel. Intercepted by Hopkinton. They have possession. Charlotte Getchell. Out to Sydney Brucado. Looking to pass it up. Still has Sydney still fighting for it. Sending it up to Alex. Alex tipping it up. Oh, kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton.
Yeah.
That was good movement.
Yeah, we need to keep the ball a little closer to the body.
So throw in back to Charlotte Getchell. To Maddie Sehe. Long ball. Nice and easy. Mel was already called for it. And again, not too much pressure on our goal right now, even though they're getting it into our half. Mel Coleman with the kick. Intercepted and headed by Hopkinton. Hopkinton still in possession. Tess Powers getting a foot to it. Back to Hopkinton. Elizabeth Mackey coming in for it. Maddie Sayer getting ahead to it. Touched by Hopkinton. Called against us?
If he called foul, that was inside the yeah. I mean, look at what he does. Big, huge error.
Yeah, not quite sure what that call was. However, free kick awarded to Hopkinton just outside of our box. So Hopkinton with the free kick here. And again, that was an up and over, nice and easy for Holliston. So another goal kick for Holliston, taken by Maddie Sahasian. And you are watching the Holliston Cable Access Television filming of Holliston versus Hopkinton on Monday the 18th of September at our home field. Headed by Tess Powers. Intercepted by Sarah from Gabby. Hopkinton get back possession. Up and over, headed by Hopkinton. Elizabeth Mackey chasing it down. Controlling it. And a good deflection off of Hopkinton, so it'd be another Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with a throw-in to Tess. Oh, unlucky. Out of bounds. It'd be a Hopkinton throw-in. Out by Maddie Sahasian. Back to the Hopkinton defense, up in the air. Sarah Winokur fighting for it. Anna Siegel getting it on the ground. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Gabby Ramirez getting to it, stealing the ball to Anna Siegel. Emily Clapper taking the space. Nice ball deflected off of Hopkinton player. It'll be a Holliston throw-in.
Just one touch. That's what we need. Just one touch. We don't have to play too much with the ball. Yeah, and that's what they make the difference. One touch.
Yeah, single touches, give and go. Nice switching of the field. Gwen Freely is on the field now. Charlotte Getchell taking it down the line. Oh, unlucky. Out of bounds. It will be a Hopkinton throw-in. To Hannah Wolfgang, to Maddie Sehe, back to Elizabeth Mackey. Looking to make a switch of the field to Sarah Winokur. Back to Emily Clapper. The Whites are pushing up. Sarah Winokur fighting for it. Hannah Wolfgang almost getting to it. Elizabeth Mackey defending it. Man on. Oh, nice top up. Back to Hannah Wolfgang. Sending it long. Hopkins defending it. Back to Hannah. Settle, settle. To Gabby Ramirez. Looking to send it out wide. Here comes Gwen Freely. And they've kicked it out of bounds. That will be a Holliston throw-in.
I love the confidence that Mackey has to defend the ball. I think that is a strong player that we have back defending the Panthers, and that make a good difference.
Panaggio, oh! That was some great passing there. That was really a good. And then Alex Panaggio looking to make that tap, and it was just slightly high. But again, good ball movement by Holliston, finding each other and making those moves.
Yeah, and I believe hit the bar, right?
Yep, hit
but
the bar.
The football one.
Yeah, the football one, not the soccer one. Touchdown. So it's up in the air. Maddie Sehe getting a foot to it, deflected off a Hopkinton player. Back over to Gabby Ramirez, bounced over the Hopkinton line. Gwen Freely fighting for it, headed by Hopkinton. Charlotte getting a foot to it, back to Gabby Ramirez. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey, sending it up. Gwen Freely getting to it. Tapped by Hopkinton, back to Elizabeth Mackey, looking to see who she can switch to. Nice, out to Sarah Winokur, to Juliana Papulis on the field now. Oh, unlucky. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Sarah coming back to challenge. Nice work. Touched by Hannah. Again, Hopkinton getting a foot to it. It's a bit messy in the air right now. Hopkinton got possession. Emily Clapper defending it. To Elizabeth Mackey. Charlotte Getchell. To Juliana. It's looking to make a switch. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Still with Hopkinton possession. Charlotte Getchell back to Hannah Wolfgang. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Charlotte Getchell trying to defend it. And it went off of a... Oh, they've still kept it in play. Hopkinton trying to make the cross. Nice and easy to Mel. Good read by the goalkeeper. Mel with the goal kick. To Alex Panaggio. Oh, thank you. That'll be a free kick. And Maddie Sahasian coming to take the free kick for Holliston.
Something that I would like to see the Panthers do something else. They don't have to hit the ball right to the box. They can play back. They can do something different.
So Maddie Sahasian with the kick. Headed by Hopkinton, up in the air. Julia Papulis getting headed to it. Back to Hopkinton. Alex Panaggio settling it on the ground. Being challenged. 3 people on her. Back to Hopkinton. Maddie Sehe to Hannah Wolfgang. Back to Maddie Sehe. Oh. Out to Gwen. Up to Charlotte. Alex to Gwen Freely. Back to Alex. Looking to switch it. Here we go. Into the middle. She's got Juliana. Looking to settle it. To Gabby. Here we go. Oh, unlucky. Back out to Hannah Wolfgang. Holliston still have possession. To Emily Clapper, who's looking to pass it up. Sarah Winokur. Tapping it back to Sarah. Nice ball. Sarah Winokur taking it down the corner. And kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton. We'll take the throw in. So Emily Clapper with the throw-in, getting close to their box now. This could be a good opportunity. And we have Alex coming off, Sarah coming off, and we have Sydney Brucado and Jill Hobson coming back on the field for Holliston, and also Lily Traynor coming on for Maddie Sehe. So Emily Clapper with a throw-in to Sydney Brucado. To Hannah Wolfgang. Oh, touched by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Lily Traynor getting a foot to it. Charlotte Getchell coming in. Switching the field out to Sydney Brucado. Taking it up. Looking to make a pass. Deflected off of Hopkinton. It'll be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper. And we have another substitution. We have Alex and Tess coming back on. And we have Hannah and Gwen leaving the field. So Emily with a throw-in. Body by Juliana. Fighting for it. Free kick awarded to Hopkinton. So Hopkinton with the free kick. Headed by them. Tess Powers getting a foot to it. Booted by Hopkinton. And it's going to go out of bounds.
I think it's corner.
Did it go off of us? Did we touch it? I think we did.
Yeah, I think I saw someone. I think it was Mackie that touched it with the head.
So it will be a corner kick. So this is an opportunity for the Hopkinton Hilliers. We're at 11 minutes on the clock, and it's still 1-0 currently to Holliston. Oh, what a great read by Melanie. That was awesome. Saw it, came right through, grabbed it, got her hands on it. Fantastic. So Jill Hobson touching the ball. Emily Clapper coming in. So another free kick awarded to Hopkinton.
In a play like this, we can play outside. Something like this, everyone go out and the goalie move in. So it's something that the teams need to learn, that they can do that. Play outside, it will be a nice. And this was the good sample.
Again, great read by Mel. She saw that the goal kick wasn't coming towards her, and it was not a pressure point for Holliston. So again, we've lucked out with that. So Gabby Ramirez trying to get possession of the ball here, still fighting for it. Hopkinton still have it. Hopkinton switching the field down the far line. Alex has taken possession, making the switch to Jill Hobson in the mid. Oh, intercepted by Hopkinton. They're driving. Elizabeth Mackey getting a foot to it. Getting it up to Alex Panaggio, tapping it to Gabby Ramirez, sending it to Alex Panaggio. Oh! Hopkinton still with the possession. Emily Clapper getting it up and out. Over the top of the Hopkinton player. Charlotte Getchell fighting for it. Be a Hopkinton throw-in. Oh, what a nice, great read again by Melanie. They tried to cross it in and it went straight to her hand. She saw it coming in, which was great. Sydney fighting for it. Sydney still has possession, taking it down the line. Looking to send it.
Too hard.
Yeah, slightly too hard. Juliana running on it, not quite getting to it. Right idea, though.
It was a good idea. It was a good run and it was a good fight. For the ball, is just the pass a little bit hard.
So Hopkinton with a goal kick. 8.5 minutes left in this first half. And again, it's still 1-0 to the Lady Panthers. So we're Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. Sarah Winokur back on the field. To Jill Hobson. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Headed by Hopkinton. Alex Panaggio getting fit to it. Fighting for it. Tapping it up to Sarah Winokur. Sending it up to Jill Hobson. Oh, nice try. Headed by Sarah. It's still up in there. And out of bounds by Hopkinton. So again, another Holliston throw-in. Charlotte Getchell to Alex Panaggio. Taking the turn. Taking it down. Trying to get to the corner. And again, kick out of bounds by Hopkinton. It seems to be their go-to move. So throw-in by Holliston. Headed by Hopkinton. Kicked on out. So Winokur getting a foot to it. Tess getting a body to it. Deflected back to a Hopkinton player. Elizabeth Mackey getting a foot to it. Settling it. Sending it out to Emily Clapper. Up to... No, she's taking the space. Good job to Jill Hobson. Oh. Kicked up by Hopkinton. Headed. Still has their possession. There'll be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper. To Sydney Brucado. Deflected off of Hopkinton, but still in Holliston possession. To Tess, to Maddie Sehe. Over to Charlotte Getchell. To Alex. To Sarah Winokur. Hopkinton taking possession. Long ball. Offside.
Beautiful. That was one of the best come out from the goalie, and that was a good come out by Mel.
Yeah, they saw the offside and nearly stopped playing, and Mel then reread that they were still playing, didn't blow the whistle, went in and got it, which was a great read by her.
I didn't see it very clear the outside, so I didn't call it, but I don't know if it was or
yeah, player was on the back of the Hopkinton.
Wasn't. That's it, because sometimes I don't like to see two referees in the field, 11 and 11. It has to be 3 referees. That way, 2 calls outside and the central referee.
So free kick for Holliston. Maddie Sahajian taking the free kick. This could be a great opportunity for the Holliston team. Be another Holliston throw-in. Sydney Brucado with the throw-in.
We still have issues with the ball when
nice
it's going
ball.
50
Who's
and
there?
50.
Who's there? Oh. Great read by the Hopkinton goalie there. Maybe a goal kick for Hopkinton. It's a long ball. Hopkinton still with the possession. Looking to set it up. Another Hopkinton throw-in. So this will be a goal kick for Holliston. Maddie Sehay with the goal kick. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Mackie fighting for it. Charlotte Getchell going foot to it. Hopkinton still have possession. High ball. Mackie getting to it. Get out. Oh, nice job by Melanie yet again. Great read by the goalkeeper today by Mel Coleman.
That was very good save by Melanie.
So they've been putting pressure on us, this Hopkinton team. Now we're finally back down in their half. Let's see if we can get something going here. So Tess Powers to Sydney Brucado to Sarah Winokur. Back to Sydney Brucado. And deflected off of Hopkinton, so it'll be a Holliston throw-in. Sydney Brucado to Jill Hobson. Kicked away by Hopkinton. Elizabeth Mackey defending it. Taking the space, switching the field to Charlotte Getchell. Back to Gabby Ramirez. Back out to Charlotte Getchell. Sending it up. Sarah Winokur nearly got to it, but kicked out of bounds by Hopkins, so it'll be another Holliston throw-in. So Holliston throw-in to Sarah Winokur. Back to Charlotte Getchell. Long ball by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Switching the field over to Sydney Brucado. Back to Emily Clapper. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Sydney Brucado. Back to Hopkinton. Back to Maddie Sehay. Hopkinton got possession and out of bounds. So that'll be another Holliston throw-in. We're down to the last 2 minutes of the first half. Gabby to Tess. Trying to fight for it. Hopkinton take possession. And that's going to be out of bounds. So under 2 minutes left in the first half, and a Hopkinton throw-in down by our box. Nice and easy, headed by Hopkinton straight to Mel Coleman. Mel Coleman with the goal kick. Hopkinton got their feet to it. Putting pressure on us again, driving it forward. Mackey intercepting it. Switching the field to Gabby Ramirez. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Chasing it, Holliston trying to get into it. Out of bounds, it would be a Holliston throw-in. Holliston with a throw-in. To Gabby. To Jill. Passing to Tess. Intercepted by Hopkinton. They have possession. They're taking their space. Hopkinton still possession. And Mel Coleman getting to it. Again, Melanie is absolutely doing a sterling job this first half. Mel with a goal kick. Headed by Hopkinton. Hopkinton possession. Again, driving towards our goal. And that's going to be out of bounds. So we will have a Holliston throw-in. It's given to Hopkinton. Out. And that will be the first half. So at the end of this half game, it is 1-0 to the Holliston Lady Panthers. Welcome back to the Holliston Cable Access Television recording of the Holliston Lady Panthers versus Hopkinton on Monday, September the 18th. We're at our home field of Committee and Field, and we're about to start the second half. The score is 1-0 currently to Holliston. So Holliston with the possession. And it's going to be a Hopkinton throw-in. Up in the air. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Tess chasing it. And out of bounds. So it will now be a goal kick for Holliston, taken by Maddie Sehay.
So Panthers needs to start playing how they start. They don't have to see that they are 1-0 because the Hopkinton team, that's what they play a little harder because they want to tie the game. We had to play harder as a team.
So Holliston with the possession. Gabby Ramirez fighting for it. Back to Maddie Sehay up in the air. Alex Panaggio coming in. Got it to the ground, taking it down the wing. Sending it up. Sarah Winokur running on it. Still in play. And kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton. Definitely their go-to move. So throw in by Gabby Ramirez. Back to Sarah Winokur. And again, out of bounds by Hopkinton. So it will be another Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. To Jill Hobson. And awarded to Hopkinton, so it'll be a throw in by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey, sending it up. Headed by Hopkinton, Jill fighting for it. Sydney Brucado getting to it. And Hopkinton taking control and sending it out.
Goalie
back down to Mel. Nice and easy, good read. Goal kick by Mel Coleman. Anyone's ball. Hopkinton to get to it. Headed by Charlie, touched by Tess, out to Sydney. Oh, unlucky. Another Hopkinton throw-in. Big long kick straight to Mel. Nice and easy for Melanie. Up in the air, headed by Hopkinton. Charlotte Getchell. Alex still has possession. Test Powers back to Charlotte Getchell. Ooh. Out to Charlotte Getchell again. Lost our rhythm a little bit here in the second half. Hopkinton getting too close. That's a dangerous up in the air ball. And lucky for Holliston, Mel got and got the ball. Mel with the goal kick. Come on, Holliston win the ball. To Jill Hobson, back to Gabby. Out to Sarah Winokur. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Headed back down by Gabby. Up by Hopkinton in the air. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Switching it wide to Emily Clapper. To Sarah Winokur on the wing. Still has possession. Switching it to the middle to Tess. Sending it up to Alex Panaggio. Stolen from her. Back to Maddie Sehay. Out to Charlotte Getchell. Sending it up. Touched by Hopkinton. Hopkinton taking possession. Out of bounds. That will be a Holliston throw-in. Holliston throw-in. To Pags. Taps it into the centre. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Emily Clapper. Switching the field. Over to Sarah Winokur. Tapping it up. Still fighting for it. And that was awarded to Holliston. So we have a free kick. Maddie Sehay taking the kick. We can put the pressure on them and get it up towards their net. That would be a good opportunity for Holliston. So Maddie Sehay with the free kick. Nice ball. Hags is getting to it, keeping it in. Kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton. That would be a Holliston throw-in. Down in towards their box now. This will be a good opportunity again. Holliston with a throw-in to Gabby Ramirez. Alex Panaggio trying to get the turn.
Oh, he put the West on his mouth, but he didn't blow it.
Yeah, he's a little hesitant to do that. So Hopkinton with a substitution and their goal kick. Intercepted by Alex Panaggio. Luckily the ref actually ducked out the way. Alex still having possession. 2 players on her. Unlucky. It will now be a throw-in for Holliston. Sydney Brucado to Alex.
Corner kick. I would like to see Panthers shooting the ball to the net. They are playing good. They are passing, but what I'm seeing is they don't shoot the ball to the net, and those is how we make goals.
So Maddie Sehay with the corner kick. It's a really nice ball. Come back into it. Oh. Charlotte back to Sydney. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Switching the field to Sarah Winokur. Tapping it up. Running on it. Nice wheels. And again, kicked out of bounds by Hopkinton. Sarah Winokur with a throw-in for Holliston. Hopkinton getting to it. Back to Charlotte Getchell. Taking some space. To Sydney. Deflected off of a Hopkinton player. Sent back. Elizabeth Mackey coming on. Man on player. Back to the goalie. Kicked out. Oh. So it'll be a Hopkinton throw-in. Sydney Brooker. Oh! The whistle was used. So free kick for Holliston, taken by Maddie Sahajian. Headed by Hopkinton, back to Maddie Sahay, and out of bounds. So it will be a Hopkinton throw-in. Hopkinton still in possession. This could be dangerous. Gabby getting to it, or pushing through. Deflected off of Mackie, and that will be a corner. So first 9 minutes of the second half, there is still not an additional score, so Holliston still 1-0, and it's with Hopkinton now coming up with their corner kick. Again, excellent read by Melanie. Saw the ball coming in, dive, got her hands on it, no issue. Goal kick by Melanie. Intercepted by Hopkinton. And they're putting pressure on. They're bringing it down again. Emily Clapper defending and good defense. But Hopkinton are taking the shots. So again, another goal kick for Holliston. Maddie Sahajian with the kick. Hopkinton possession. Putting pressure on us, and we're lucking out that they're just not there to finish.
Just want to mention it. The goal came in the first 3 minutes, right? So we have 40, more than 50 minutes without goal.
So Jill Hobson out to Sarah Winokur. Hopkinton taking possession. Putting pressure on us. Mackie getting a foot to it. Gabby Ramirez switching it. Intercepted by Hopkinton.
That ball has to be close to the body, to the player.
Yeah, we've got to control it closer to us when we touch it. So Maddie Sahay. Hopkinton still putting pressure on. This is dangerous. Oh, good job, Mackie. Out to Sarah Winokur. To Jill Hobson. Back to Emily Clapper. Hopkinton taking possession again. Charlotte Getchell switching it over to Emily Clapper. Taking it down the line, sending it up. Out of bounds by Hopkinton, so that will be a Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. Intercepted by Hopkinton, out of bounds, and it will be another Holliston throw-in. Jill Hobson getting it. Out of bounds, so that will be another Hopkinton throw-in this time. Another Hopkinton throw-in. Substitution by Hopkinton. Gabby Ramirez. Back to Sarah Winokur. Hopkinton taking possession again. Emily Clapper sending it up. Intercepted by Hopkinton again. Back to Tess Powers. Deflected off of a Hopkinton player. Pags is trying to steal it. Hopkinton throw-in. Headed by Emily Clapper. It'll be another Hopkinton throw-in. Good defense by Emily Clapper. A lot of tripping going on, falling on the floor.
We lose the game.
Okay, we need to call something here.
Yeah, we lose the game. We start just playing like a Hopkinton is playing, just hitting the ball anywhere. They need to put the ball down, relax and make it the passes that they know how play. So
yeah, they definitely need to calm it down and get back to their passing feet-to-feet motion. So Elizabeth Mackey tapping it over. Intercepted by Hopkinton. They've got possession. Bounced off Sydney. Elizabeth Mackey pushing it up. Back to the Hopkins defensive line. To their mid. Good job, Charlotte, getting in the way of it there. Back out by Mackey. Say hey. Fighting for it still. Hopkinton getting in there. Sydney Brucado making the switch, sending it up to Alex. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Holliston now taking possession. Sarah to Sydney. Move the ball. Here we go. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, Alex still has possession.
sometimes what I see is they concentrate too much on the player and not on the ball. We need to look the ball. We don't need to look the player. And we need to connect the passes. And with a game like this, we need to do just one touch. Because what happens is we're playing at the same level with another team.
Yeah, and we need to keep once we hit that first touch, we've got to keep it close and keep control of it. Charlotte to Gabby, to Tess, back to Gabby, to Alex Panaggio, to Sarah Winokur. Hopkinton are pretty good at pushing in and getting in there. They're reading the ball and pushing through. Elizabeth Mackey getting it back up into the mid. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Their defensive line passing nicely. Out of bounds. It will be a Holliston throw-in. So Hannah Wolfgang coming it on for Gabby. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. To Alex Panaggio. Tess Powers. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Oh. Out to Charlotte Getchell. It'll be out of bounds. That'll be a Hopkinton throw-in. Tess Powers to Jill Hobson. Sending it up. And it's too far. No one's going to get to them. Holliston throw-in. Up and over by Hopkinton. Mackey, Charlotte Getchell to Tess Powers. Back to Maddie Sehay. To Gwen Freely. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Nice and easy for Mel Coleman. Goal kick rather for Mel Coleman. Come on, win it, Holliston. Tapped over by Hannah to Jill Hobson. Back to Tess, out to Gwen Freely. Up to Jill. Passing it up. Alex. And out of bounds, so it will be a Holliston throw-in. At least we're getting down in their half. Holliston throw-in. Headed by Hopkinton. Back to Charlotte Getchell. To Tess. Touch it. To Hannah. Intercepted by Hopkinton, and they're on a roll. Mackey getting it out. Hopkinton still have possession. Hannah Wolfgang, Charlotte Getchell. Intercepted by Hopkinton, over to Sarah Winokur. Taking some space.
We having trouble to control the ball. I don't know what happens, what's going on, but
Hopkinton defense are doing a very good job of pulling us and being open and then taking control. Now Alex is going to try and weed through 3 people. They're going to nail her. No. Yeah, it's not going to happen. There's no way with 3 people on you, it's not going to happen. So it'll be a goal kick for Holliston. And we have Gabriella coming back on and Sydney Brucado. Hannah and Sarah have come off the field. So goal kick by Maddie Sahasian for Holliston.
Nice kick, Maddie.
Hopkinton possession. Alex fighting hard, winning it, sending it up. Here comes Gwen, who's going to get up there into the box, get ready for the cross. There it goes. Back to Alex Panaggio. Yes.
sometimes to me looks like she has a magnet to that ball. That ball is coming to her feet every single minute. For more than she kick anywhere, the ball is coming out to the feet.
Okay, so Maddie Sehay with the free kick. I've got to finish this. Oh. Nice try by Maddie Sahasian. Yeah, somehow we're just not getting past that defensive line.
No, and if you see the game, we have the goal in the first 2 minutes. So the rest of the game, we have a good touches, but we don't put it in. And that is a problem that we have.
And we're allowing way too much time for the Hopkinton team to come through the whole middle to get back to our defensive line. Oh! Hopkinton throw in. We're actually in the last 20 minutes of the second half, and the score is still 1-0 to Holliston. It's up in the air. Popped in by Hopkinton, but out by Maddie Sehay. Gwen Freedy running on it. Hopkinton possession, out of bounds, and that will be a Holliston throw in. So Gwen is coming off, Jill Hobson's coming off, and we have Sarah and Hannah coming back on the field.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of changes or what kind of toll the coach said to the guards. See if they can put the ball down and dominate the ball and make the passes.
So Sarah
better.
switching the field. Hopkinton taking possession again. Good read by Mel, though she was getting pressure from a Hopkinton player. Taking a new ball, that one's a bit too flat. So, Mel with the goal kick.
What kind of move was that?
Gabby fighting for it. Sydney Brucado to Gabby. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Sydney fighting through and out of bounds, so it'll be another Holliston throw-in. Emily Clapper with the throw-in. Sadly, a bit too much ping-pong going on. We're not getting it on the ground and making control.
And we cover the player, but we don't cover the ball. We need to focus more on the ball. Look.
Again, way too much space and time here for Hopkinton. And they're still ploughing at us. That's a dangerous shot.
Yeah.
Very lucky. We're very lucky.
I don't know. I don't see them set up the ball and make the passes and play the soccer that they know how to play. They know how to play because we already see this team playing soccer.
So Maddie Sehe with a goal kick. Headed by Tess, touched by Sarah. Still fighting for it. Still fighting for it. Out of bounds. So Hopkinton throw in. No, it's a throw in around bounds. Holliston throw in. Headed over by Sarah Winokur, headed by Hopkinton, both fighting for it. In the middle to Alec. Oh. Free kick awarded. So Maddie Sehe with the free kick. We need to keep it down in their half this time. Again, Hopkinton intercepting it, kicking it back. Hopkinton switching the field. Sydney Bucado to nobody in the middle. Hopkinton intercepting it. Hopkinton still have possession, deflecting it off themselves, keeping possession. This could be dangerous. Gabby Ramirez. Elizabeth Mackey sending it out. Headed by Hopkinton. Still them tapping it over. Hopkinton still have possession. And we luck out that they do those kind of kicks that were easy for Mel. If they kept possession and got it down, that would be dangerous for us.
They are a struggle with the ball. Very, very poor soccer.
We're just not trapping any of these kicks. We're not trapping them getting to ground and keeping possession.
I mean, we know the 50 and 50, we never win the ball. We never got it. And one sample is going to be right now. Maddie Sehe is going to hit the ball, and we'll see who hit it first.
Hopkinton again.
And we already know.
Either our team isn't reading what our players can do, but Hopkinton seem to get it every time. Again, way too much space here for this girl. Where is the team? Yeah. So Alex is going to try and outrun the player again and probably end up with two players on her, but there's no support. There's no one there to help her. We win the corner. Let's see if we can actually finish this and close it this time. We need the goal. I'm all right, Jack. So we really need to convert this corner kick into a goal-scoring opportunity.
We really need another jacket.
And another jacket to keep Alfonso warm. Come on, finish. All right, we'll take another corner. Okay, the Holliston team need to be hungry for this. They need to get this. They need to finish this. So again, another corner kick by Maddie Sehe.
Sometimes I see them play like in a slow motion. I don't know if it's because I'm here looking the big picture or is because they are tired or I don't know what is it.
Yeah.
But today is one of those days that I see them play in a slow motion.
Yeah, there isn't the intensity they've had in these last couple of games. Nice ball. Who's going to finish it?
Yes.
Oh, that was beautiful work. That actually was beautiful work. Unlucky it didn't go in. It's another corner. It's another corner. Tapped out by a Hopkinton player, so that will be another corner. So let's hope this time we can close it.
That was close.
Yeah. So let's see if we can get a head to it again, because that actually was very close. That was inches away. So come on, Holliston Lady Panthers. Let's see if we can do this. Headed by Hopkinton. Back in. Alex with 3 players on her. Out to Elizabeth Mackey. Charlotte Getchell. To Seihei. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Deflected off a Hopkinton player. That would be a Holliston throw-in. So 11.5 minutes left on the clock. Another substitution. Hannah coming out. Sarah Winokur coming in for Holliston. Get on the ground, though, ladies. Come on, ground it. Oh. This is dangerous. Nope, we lucked out there. So it'll still be a Hopkinton throw-in. It's still anybody's game. 1-0. There's still 10 minutes on the clock. So Hopkinton with the possession. Gabby getting it out to Alex. Oh, deflected off of a Hopkinton player. Back into Hopkinton. Dangerous. Come on, shut it down. Shut it down. That's all right.
Yeah, that was out before.
Yeah.
Was it throw to the Panthers?
So this will be a Holliston throw-in. Headed by Hopkinton. Possession, Hopkinton. Gabby getting a foot to it, switching the field out. Hopkinton getting it, taking it back. City charging, pressuring it. Nice play by Hopkinton. We're lucking out that the Hopkinton kicks aren't direct and non-straight.
Yeah, I see Hopkinton making the pass and fighting for the ball. And something I don't want to say, but it will be dangerous.
Yeah, Holliston got to get in front of the ball, not be poking it from behind and trying to get it. We're just not getting in front of the ball in time. Tess. Okay, it's up in the air. Holliston throw-in. To Gwen. Sarah touching it, switching the field. Gabby Ramirez sending it up to Sydney Brucada. Deflected off of Sydney by a Hopkinton player. Emily Clapper coming in. Hopkinton taking possession. A lot of space here for Hopkinton again.
Oh.
Gwen Freely. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Protect it. Good job, Emily. Out to Gwen. To Alex, who she's looking for someone. Out to Sydney. Keep it close, keep it close. To Sarah.
Go. Even go.
Go. And the classic kick it out of bounds by Hopkinton. Well, at least it slows the play, runs the clock, if we can hold it off. Emily to Alex Panaggio. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Back to Elizabeth Mackey. Up to Sydney. Too many players on her. Back to Gwen. Out to Charlotte Getchell. Cross it. There it is. Oh. Right idea by Holliston. We need to keep the pressure up in their half and win these balls. Melanie with the goal kick. Off of Sarah Winokur. Hopkinton have possession. Emily getting a foot to it. Good defense. Hopkinton throw in. And Jill Hobson coming on with Sarah Winokur going off. We're down to just under 6 minutes on the clock for the second half. The score is still 1-0 to Holliston. Gillian Hobson getting it out. Hopkinton taking control, sending it back in. Straight to the goalie. Mel Coleman with the goal kick. Again, won by Hopkinton.
Oh, that was close.
Well, Hopkinton definitely putting the pressure on Holliston right now. Not sure what's
They are playing better soccer. They are passing the ball. They are dominating, and they trying to tie the game. And we are trying to hit the ball anywhere.
Unfortunately, it's now getting to the ping pong game, which we aren't very good at controlling at the best of times. And this is when our game deteriorates.
Get it out of there!
Oh. Good job, Melanie. Again, another great read by Mel. Mel is earning her supper tonight, that's for sure. Goal kick by Mel. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Tess getting it up in the air. Pag's fighting for it, but Hopkinton have the control. Pag's getting a foot to it, but she's now going to have herself and 3 players, and Hopkinton kick it out of bounds.
Let's go wide, take a breath, control the ball for the last 3 minutes, and play soccer.
If we can just run the clock for the next 3.5 minutes, that might be the way to go with this game so we can take the win. Hopkinton throw in. Emily Clapper setting it up. Again, Hopkinton reading it. Back to Sydney. Gabby to Jill Hobson, looking to swish the field. Intercepted by Hopkinton. Elizabeth Mackey sending it up. Back to Hopkinton, we're pinging it back. Back to Jill, back to Hopkinton. Back to Smelly Sehe. Back to Sarah. Back to Jill. Back to Hopkinton. Again, we are exceedingly lucky that Mel is reading this and they're not actually too bad of a kick at her, but Hopkinton are definitely playing the better second half. Yes, nothing. This is ridiculous.
Don't let it shoot the ball.
Good job, Emily. Again, headed by Hopkinton. And Alex and 4 players isn't going to get through. Need some help. The Whites have got to get up there to help her out. Yep.
All right.
Holliston throw in. But again, see how the Hopkinton have already got their defensive line back. They're holding us. Hopkinton throw in. Lots of Mackie sending it up. Sarah chasing on it. Where's the support? Who's there to help her? Oh, unlucky. Holliston throw in. We're now at the last 2 minutes of the game. Come on, Holliston, you need to hold this team, This is dangerous. Oh, this is dangerous. Good job, Tess. To Jill, back out to Charlotte, back to Alex, taking the space, sending it up to Sid. Come on, pass it, girls, keep passing. This is it. Come on, Pags. Oh. Still a Holliston throw-in.
I think this is going to be the last touch.
Come on, Alex. Take a turn. Draw a foul.
And it was.
So Holliston Lady Panthers take the game. It's 1-0 to Holliston versus Hopkinton. You've been watching the Monday, September the 18th, Holliston Cable Access Television filming of the game at Commission Field. I'm Lynda Getchell with my co-host Alfonso Ramirez and filming today, Mark Winokur. Thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.